normally, you know, what we have is either primary or secondary healing. Primary being that you close it, or if you can do a skin flap or a skin graft or something to take skin from one section of the body and move it to someplace else, versus secondary healing, which is essentially letting the body kind of heal itself through wound contracture and epithelialization. With Sadie, we didn't have any place that we could harvest a donor graft from, because the majority of her body was open tissue. So the problem that you run into is, okay, well, if you take skin from her back and put it someplace else, one, you're essentially just moving one wound to another wound, and there's no way that we were going to be able to harvest as much skin as she needed to be able to cover all of the wounds. So with RECELL, what you could do is take actually a significantly smaller piece of donor tissue, and then it goes into this device. Device ends up kind of breaking down the tissue into its skin cells, and then you're able to take those skin cells and literally spray it over the wound. So you're able to cover, I think it's like for 1 centimeter squared of skin, you're able to cover like 80 centimeters squared of wound space. So it's significantly smaller amount of skin to be able to treat a larger area. So when I heard that, I figured, well, this is a perfect case for it. So just knowing that, okay, well, at least we've gotten her through the wound part. Now, how are we going to get everything to close? So this, thank God, was available for us to be able to use for her to essentially grow skin, and not just go through, you know, the normal, you know, wound contracture where you worry about scars, because this was her entire body. This was probably one of the cutest things. One of Dr. Kapari's patients had some burns, and she had heard about Sadie and the fact that Dr. Kapari was helping Sadie. So she wanted to do a fundraiser to help with donations towards Sadie's, you know, bandaging supplies, you know, wound treatment, products, everything. So she had a lemonade stand and had raised $2,400 from the lemonade stand to donate to Sadie. So she raised this, and then she ended up coming up here. Her father is the sheriff of Jefferson Parish, and he came up here too and presented Sadie with the check. And Sadie loves kids. So she was very excited to meet Lily. You know, she got cookies and treats and chicken and some snuggles. So she had a good time that day. But yeah, it was sweet to have a 10-year-old, you know, be selfless enough to put in the work of doing a lemonade stand and then giving all of the, you know, funds to, you know, a dog that she had never really met before that day, just because she, you know, felt a connection with Sadie through burns and through Dr. Kapari. We fell in love with her as a clinic. You know, we saw her at her absolute worst, and saw her kind of rally. And originally, you know, everybody kind of had in their mind, you know, okay, well, this will be, you know, kind of a temporary situation, and, you know, eventually she'll, you know, get adopted and everything. And I think gradually everybody fell in love with her. And there was one time where we changed her bandage, and we'd finished everything, and she came over and she sat in my lap. And at that point I was like, we're in trouble. Nobody wanted to give her up then. So we were lucky enough when the director of the Humane Society, Jeff Dorson, came to visit her. He saw how she was with everybody and how she pretty much kind of made this her home. And because we had told him at one point that, you know, we were interested in keeping her. And when he came and he saw how she was here with everybody, and, you know, kind of even after her bandage changes, she was just happy, wagging her tail and everything. He decided to let us keep her. So, which was good because we wanted to put up a fight. The fact that we might have had to given her up made people cry.
The bumblebee. The baby bumblebee with her little stinger. Okay, you tuck her back in. Doesn't like to be untucked.
For her to have survived everything that she did and still be as sweet as she was and looking to people for help told me that she was beyond special. Every day she was eating, she was super sweet, she was looking for people to love on her, and at no point did she give up. We did everything that we could to make sure that we didn't give up on her.